Welcome back to the channel, guys. I've recently started a series of videos that we're doing on saddle hunting. We're going to talk about ways you can get into saddle hunting, save some money, stuff like that. I also recognize the fact that saddle hunting isn't for everybody, but if you are interested in saddle hunting, I encourage you to subscribe so you don't miss out on those episodes. But since saddle hunting isn't for everybody, I thought it'd be fun to go over my two favorite tree stands of all time, so let's get to the video. I'm going to start out by number one saying this: both of these companies have gone out of business. So if you're sitting here and you're watching and you're thinking, why would I even watch this? Because the companies are gone out of business. It's for two reasons. Number one, you're going to learn what my favorites are and the things that make this unique to any other stand out on the market. So if you run across one used, I'm telling you, it'd be worth your money, and I think you'd be just as happy as I am. And then if you don't find one used, it'll give you some things that you might want to look at for your next tree stand. Of the two tree stands that are my favorite of all time, one's going to be a lock-on tree stand. It's made by the company called Lone Wolf. They've again gone out of business. My climbing tree stand is made by a company called Tree Walker. He used to hand make these one at a time. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start off with the Lone Wolf tree stand. This is the Assault 2. And I'm going to tell you some of the things that I love the most about it. And we're going to start out with this. I want you to listen to this as I'm raising this post up. I'll start over and not be talking. I'm going to put the seat down. That is why I love this tree stand. It's got plenty of room down here. The stand's wide enough. You can stand on it. You can turn around. You can get almost the full 360 degrees of shooting that you'd be able to get in a saddle. Plus you got a comfortable seat. So my number one feature of the Lone Wolf climbing tree stand, and we're just going to go ahead and say it's the same for both of them. They're super quiet, guys. When you're up in the tree, it doesn't matter if you're in the rain, the cold, the sleet, the heat. They don't pop, they don't creak, and they don't make noise. I wish I could say the same thing about the platform that I've been using for the last 5 years, but every once in a while, and it seems like it's always at the most inopportune time, maybe you're making an adjustment because the deer are coming in and you're drawing your bow or whatever, but that thing has squeaked and popped since day one. I've done everything I could, but regardless, to me, that's a huge selling point when you're talking about tree stands. We're already in a spot where we need to be quiet, and if you're in a tree stand that's making noise, it is not helping you with your cause. This stand, I'm telling you guys, it's super strong, it's super quiet. Couple of the other benefits that I really like about it: you do have an adjustable knob up here that you can use with your fingers. Unlike my platform, it's got an adjustable knob so that you can change the tilt, but the screw on my platform is so tight you can't do it with your fingers. You could barely get it to move when it was brand new. But this is made right. This company knew what they were doing. They've made stands for a long time, and they knew what they were doing. Next thing that I want to talk about is it does come with the rubber coated cables. The thing I like about these cables, they're see-through, so you can check them, look for rust, look for damage, anything like that. I added these little camo covers, and to be honest with you, they've faded a lot. I probably ought to just pull them off. But I put them on there just to kind of keep the cables a little more quiet in case I bumped it with a buckle. While we're talking about buckles, I also ride mountain bikes. Anytime I get some old mountain bike tubes, I'll cut them up, and that's what I put over the buckle itself, so it cuts down on noise if you were to accidentally bang it while you're doing the setup. The next thing that I like about this is you do have two of the Versa buttons, and they're actually the Versa buttons because that's who made them, was Lone Wolf. But you got the Versa buttons top and bottom. 99% of the time I only use the top one. The secondary one is just kind of for your own peace of mind, and or if you decided, say you wore your saddle out and you wanted to kind of get a place you could sit down comfortably for a reprieve while you're saddle hunting, you could still kind of get maybe on the sides of this thing. I'm not suggesting that you do it, but this secondary strap down at the bottom would potentially keep it from kicking out. You got a big wide V back here, so like I say, I don't think kicking out's going to be an issue. Plus, like I say, even without a saddle, you can spin around 360 up here with your safety harness on. Next thing I want to talk about real quick, and you guys may or may not be aware of this, but this stand has what they call a bat wing. I'm going to bring it up here so you guys can see it, but this bat wing, essentially the way it works, you can see the three different cutouts. If you tree it in 100% straight, which very seldom are they, you can still hang this stand straight even in a crooked tree. Again, I love the versatility of it. This stand weighs 9.5 pounds, which is not the lightest stand on the market, but I'm here to tell you guys, there's so many people that they're chasing that 5 and 6 pound stand, and instead of paying, this stand was $250 new when it came out. If you guys would consider losing 5 pounds and saving $500, you'd be healthier and you could go further. And you could put that money to use for some other project or put it to something else. I'm just saying, don't get hung up with the super lightweight stuff, especially if you're thinking about charging it. Don't do it. Lose some weight, save some money. Next thing I'm going to show you is just a little mod that I did, and it's not anything ingenious that I made, but I made this out of pool noodles. I wrapped it with camo duct tape, and you can see this one's kind of got a V on it, so it goes flat across the bar. This one goes across the bat wings, and that just makes an excellent place to tie down your climbing sticks. And again, I just use a piece of paracord. I've got one that stays on the stand in the front, the back, tie that down, and then you're good to go. These climbing sticks are around 9 pounds, so you're looking at about 18 pounds total. Yes, I know there's lighter stuff out there. It doesn't hurt me to exercise. These sticks are the Helium 2. I'm going to show them to you real quick if you haven't seen them, because everybody are saying that these are entry-level sticks. I'm here to tell you that the secondary version that they made are pretty awesome. They got these little rubber bumpers on the top and bottom, so when your sticks go together, there's another piece behind this rubber bumper that goes into the, so it almost works like a suction cup, and it holds them together. Listen to this. You're not hearing that metal clanging back and forth because these things actually work. That's a pretty good design in my mind. Again, these sticks are a little over $100 for 3 of them. Half the time when I'm hunting, especially early season with everything leafed out like it still is, I can get it high enough with 2 aiders and 2 sticks and still be up around 10, 12 foot. And I'm not a climbing genius. I'm just saying you could save a little bit of weight by only going out with 2 sticks. You can save yourself a ton of money by going with a couple of heavier sticks, and if the ones you're looking at are $500 versus $100, save that $400, lose 5 pounds, and go out in the woods and have fun. Use that $400 for something else, maybe out-of-state hunting fees. Next thing we're going to talk about, and this is going to be real quick, is this Lone Wolf climbing tree stand. One of the best stands that I believe was ever made as far as climbing tree stands. The gentleman that made these, he actually passed away. His kids have tried to restart the business a couple of times. I'm going to tell you, when I bought this stand, I think it was around $400. The last I heard, if you can even get them anymore new, they're around $1,000 new. But I'm going to tell you this, it was definitely worth the $400 or $450 I paid. Each stand's handmade. Your platform on this stand is roughly 17.5 inches wide, and it's 2 foot long away from the tree. I like these bright orange knobs. If you guys have ever been putting a tree stand together, maybe early in the morning before the sun comes up, or in the evening when the sun's gone down, you're coming out of the tree and it's hard to see, you drop one of these little things. I love these bright colors. That way you can still find it in the leaves and be able to get all your parts back for your tree stand. Again, like I said, he made these stands one at a time. He handmade them, but this actually clips, and this is your platform that you're going to stand on. It's so snug, it shoves down inside the hand climber, so that makes it super, super quiet. Again, when you pick this up, you're not hearing anything rattling, so the whole way into your tree and the whole way out, the only noise that it's going to be making is you making noise, stepping on stuff or whatever else. But this is just a really good quality build. On the bottom of it, where your actual seat is, it's got that netting, and the thing that's nice about this netting, again, is it's not going to wear out. It might in time, but I haven't wore it out. This stand's probably 7 years old now, maybe 8, 9 years old, but it's quiet, so if you need to stand up, you can slide this netting back and get it out of the way. In the meantime, with this crossbar across the front and it's padded, I mean, you can almost sit up there with your legs crossed and laid back. It's easy to fall asleep in this stand. But again, guys, I just wanted to kind of go over some of the pros about these stands and why I like them the most. And the number one thing, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video with both of these, they are rock solid and they're super quiet. They're not making noise when you're moving around. This stand here, if I was going to be in an area where I could actually get it up and I knew I was going to be there, say the middle of the rut or something like that, this would be my go-to stand because it's going to be the most comfortable of everything I've got, including my saddle. But I am going out hunting tonight, and I know I'm going to be in a bunch of new growth area where the deer are at. It's a new growth, and I couldn't get either one of these stands to work for me because the trees are much smaller, and that's one of the perks of having a saddle. You can get into some tiny trees. Again, guys, I'll do some more videos later on, a little more in depth. I just wanted to go over my top 2 favorite stands of all time. And I wanted to go over some of the most basic things that make them special, and to me what make them the best stand out there that I've ever used in my 40 years of hunting. I started hunting when I was 13, so if you guys are good at math, you know how old I am. I don't know everything there is about hunting. I've only been doing it for 40 years, but I'm telling you, these 2 tree stands, and I've been in a lot of tree stands over my life, from ladder stands, homemade stands. Me and my dad started out when I was 13 making our own stands, and Lord, those things were heavy. So for this one weighing 9.5 pounds, this one weighing right at the 20-pound mark, that's much lighter than the stuff me and my dad were making when we first started. And again, guys, if you're worried about the money, do not go out and charge a bunch of this stuff. Save your money, buy some of these other sticks or something, lose 5 or 10 pounds. In fact, my doctor told me I needed to lose 10 pounds, so that's on my list of things to make happen this year as well. But again, if you're looking into getting into a tree stand, these are some of the key features that I would look at when you're looking at either one of these stands. Like say, the number one thing being quiet, being solid in the tree when you get it set up, and then the adjustability points that they have or don't have, do they work? Because I'm telling you, there's platforms being sold right now that make a lot of noise. They squeak, they pop, they cost a lot of money. This stand was $250, and your average platform right now is $200. Some of these other stands, like the one stick stands, they're going for $300 and $400. This climbing tree stand, I promise you, is way more comfortable, and it sold for $400, $450 when I bought it. Again, if you can find one used, and if you can't find one used, these are some things that you can use to kind of help justify yourself on what direction you want to go. Again, neither one of these stands will work where I'm going to be going tonight, so the saddle's my go-to ticket for tonight. And then if I'm going into an area I've never hunted before, I'm going to be taking my saddle because I can get into almost anything with a saddle. Now, again, middle of the rut, going to be sitting out there all day long. This climber is the way to go if there's trees in your area where you can use a climber. I recognize the fact not everybody can use a climber, especially when you're limited to public land. And then this lock-on by Lone Wolf is just flat hard to beat. And again, it's super comfortable as well. I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. Guys, don't scrimp. If you're going to scrimp on something, scrimp on the sticks, scrimp on something else, but don't scrimp on your stand, and don't scrimp on your safety. I've got another video that I've recently made. I'll put a link up here so you guys can go check that out, but it's the safety harness that I wear whether I'm in either one of these stands. Again, if you're wanting to save money and learn how to make tethers, lineman belt, any of that, or lineman rope that connects to your lineman belt, any of that kind of stuff, we're going to have some videos coming out in our saddle hunting series soon. But until next week's video comes out, if you want to click right over here, check out one of our other playlists or videos that we've made especially for you. Appreciate each and every one of you. We wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for you guys. And as always, I hope you have a blessed week. And let's get outside and make something happen.